A very big hello. I am Gautam Narayan from IIT Bombay. I will take you through the beautiful world of thermodynamics. I will first discuss the first law of thermodynamics and the concept of perpetual machines and why they don't exist. So before we start with the intricacies of thermodynamics, let us familiarize ourselves with the basic term energy. Energy is a word which we use regularly in our day-to-day lives. Like, I am tired, I don't have energy to do this. But what is exactly energy from the scientific perspective? Energy is a measurement of the ability of something to do work. For example, the fast moving bullets have energy trapped in them in form of kinetic energy, while this hot cup of coffee has thermal energy. So after energy, then let's discuss what is heat and work. Heat and work are basically energies in transit. So work is said to be done when a force is applied to an object through a macroscopic distance. And heat is a transfer of thermal energy caused by difference in temperatures through microscopic movements like the vibrations in matter. Since work produces a ordered movement of a matter, so it is treated as a high grade form of energy transit, while heat causes disordered movement or vibrations in the matter. It is a low grade form of energy transit. So remember, heat can be transferred into work and vice versa, but they aren't the same. So now we are comfortable with the concept of energy, heat and work. Let's discuss some common energy intertransformations in the processes around us. For example, in a thermal power plant, which is used to power our homes, a chemical energy of the coal is converted into thermal energy by burning it, which is transferred to water or steam. So it is converted into thermal energy of water or steam, which is passed through mechanical turbines to convert into mechanical energy of the turbine, and which is ultimately converted to electrical energy, which reaches our homes by the coupled electrical generators. So I would encourage you to pause this video and figure out all the energy transformations involved in a common process, that is photosynthesis. So now we are comfortable with the concept of energy, heat and work. Let's discuss the first law of thermodynamics, which is just a restatement of the conservation principle. It was proposed by Rudolf Clausius that in a thermodynamic process involving a closed system, the increment in the internal energy is equal to the difference between the heat accumulated by the system and work done by it. In simple words, it says that whatever heat is transferred to a system must be reflected in form of either increment of internal energy or work done by the system, or both. That is the heat transferred to the system is conserved. That is, the energy transferred to the system is conserved. So it is worthy to discuss the Joule's work in the context of first law of thermodynamics. James Prescott Joule, a British scientist, carried out this famous experiment. He placed known amounts of water, oil and mercury in an insulated container and agitated the fluid with a rotating stirrer driven by these falling weights. The amount of work done on the fluid by the stirrer was accurately measured by calculating the fall of height of the weights through ruler, and the heat generated through precise measurement in temperatures using a thermometer. Through the precise experiments, he could establish the equivalence of heat and work, thereby laying the foundations of first law of thermodynamics. So after we are familiar with the first law of thermodynamics, it is worthy to discuss perpetual machines. As the word suggests, perpetual means something in motion, something working infinitely without any external intervention. So there are basically three types of perpetual machines, but I would like to discuss only perpetual motion machine of first kind and the second kind. The perpetual motion of first kind produce work continuously without any external supply of heat and hence violate the first law of thermodynamics, thereby called PMM1, that is perpetual motion machine of the first kind. And the perpetual motion machine of second kind converts all of the heat supplied to it into work, thereby violating the second law of thermodynamics. Remember, we had discussed that the heat is a low grade form of energy while work is a high grade form of energy transit. Thereby any machine cannot convert all of the heat supplied to it into work. So it is a perpetual motion machine of second kind. So the concepts will be more clear when we discuss it through examples. A good example of PMM1 is a closed cycle water mill. In this machine, the energy created by the water by falling from a reservoir onto a mill wheel is used to return the water back to the reservoir through the hand pump connected to this mill wheel. thereby without any external energy supplied to it, thus keeping the machine in perpetual motion without any external supply of energy. This kind of machine is impossible because it works indefinitely without any external supply of energy, thereby violating the first law of thermodynamics. The energy delivered by the water falling never exceeds the energy required to return water back to the reservoir. So, a good example of perpetual motion machine of second kind would be a fictitious ship which takes in all the heat energy from the ocean and converts it into mechanical energy of the propeller which is used to propel forward. So, this kind of machine is impossible to build because it violates the second law of thermodynamics, thereby classifying as perpetual motion machine of second kind. So, thank you. I would like to thank you for a patient hearing till the end. And remember, don't violate any rule of thermodynamics, otherwise, you might cease to exist.